It's well past midnight. The office is silent, the screen is glowing, and you feel entirely sharp. You are hitting peak hustle, making the calls that define your career. That subjective sense of competence is a biological illusion. Your brain is actively masking a severe, ongoing cognitive collapse while tricking you into feeling capable. This chart tracks consecutive hours awake against blood alcohol concentration. After 17 to 19 hours, your cognitive performance drops to a level identical to a BAC of 0.05%. At 24 hours awake, the decline is even more severe. Your logic and reaction time now equate to a BAC of 0.10%. You are now strictly more impaired than a person at the legal driving limit. Unlike alcohol, which usually comes with physical cues of impairment, exhaustion is a silent risk. A person who is drunk often knows they shouldn't drive. A person who is exhausted rarely knows they shouldn't decide. Because disimpairment is invisible to the person experiencing it, tired leaders consistently overestimate their accuracy during high-pressure moments. Treating sleep deprivation as a competitive advantage ignores the biological reality. You are effectively engineering a massive, predictable blind spot in your own judgment. This collapse happens because of how the brain manages its metabolic overhead. It relies on the glymphatic system, which functions as a biological dishwasher for your neural hardware. During deep sleep, brain cells shrink by 60%, creating open channels. Cerebrospinal fluid rushes through, washing away metabolic waste. But skip sleep, and cells remain swollen, trapping beta amyloid. This metabolic sludge accumulates, physically clogging neural pathways and slowing processing speed. Sleep is an active, aggressive physical clearance process. It is the only time your brain can physically purge the waste products required for baseline cognitive function. As that waste accumulates, your brain's functional hierarchy begins to break down, starting with your executive control center. Exhaustion physically severs the link between the prefrontal cortex, the logical CEO, and the amygdala, which serves as your emotional alarm system. Without that logical oversight, your amygdala becomes hyperreactive, resulting in a 60% spike in emotional volatility and impulsive behavior. This neurological disconnect explains why even brilliant leaders make catastrophic errors. When the CEO of the brain is offline, high-stakes decisions, like those behind major tech product failures, are driven by reactionary impulses rather than strategic logic. Your internal defenses crash simultaneously. Just one night of 4 hours of sleep reduces the activity of your primary cancer-fighting immune cells by 70%. Choosing to work through the night dismantles the very systems you rely on to think clearly and survive environmental threats. By the 48-hour mark, the human operating system moves into a state of total failure. Standard brain fog escalates into REM intrusion, a state where your brain begins the dreaming process while you are still physically awake. The resulting hallucinations are the brain's hardware desperately attempting to force a system reboot, while the waking software continues to run. After 2 days without rest, you are no longer perceiving an objective reality. You are navigating a biologically compromised simulation. The common phrase, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," ignores a dangerous correlation. Chronic sleep deprivation accelerates cardiovascular failure, physically bringing that deadline closer. Recovery is also more complex than a single long nap. You cannot instantly pay off a 20-hour sleep debt with one late Saturday morning. Clearing a metabolic backlog requires several consecutive days of consistent heart rate variability regulation to return your systems to a high-performance baseline. Prioritizing sleep provides the cognitive speed and creative depth required for elite-level work. It is the baseline requirement for a brain that functions at its full potential. Reject the all-nighter as a badge of honor. Commit to a community experiment tonight and give your brain a full 8-hour metabolic flush. Track your clarity and reaction time tomorrow. Let us know how your brain feels after a full system reset in the comments below.